struggling to come to grips with reality. Confusion and chaos have become part of me. I seek answers to know where my liberation lies. Only in peace and calmness does that clarity arise. Transmissions of wisdom bring me insights of reason. Let my mind expand to the higher states. My mortality is no longer at stake. Let me hear the wisdom transmissions. The wisdom transmissions. So many voices, so many interpretations. No answers given, only outer temptations. Where can I find that truth inside of me? Realization of what I am is all I'm wanting to see. Transmissions of wisdom bring me insights of reason. Let my mind expand to the higher states. My mortality is no longer at stake. Let me hear the wisdom transmissions. The wisdom transmissions. No more redirection, ending the contemplation. Forget fighting reflection. Outer world's a projection. Internal is the cause, external's an effect. Put it on pause. I'm silencing the noise, centering, entering void. Truth is beautifully subtle. The voice without a voice. Heart and mind shall settle. Making decisions now, escaping illusions of choice. Transmissions of wisdom bring me insights of reason. Let my mind expand to the higher states. My mortality is no longer at stake. Let me hear the wisdom transmission. The wisdom transmissions.
And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of Wisdom Nexus. I was just about to say Wisdom Transmissions again, so getting them confused. Welcome to the next episode. Again, we are on every single Friday, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Then, of course, when the Anoint chat, the Anoint website gets rebuilt, I'm going to be creating a second webcast as well too every week. I don't have a specific day for it in mind just yet, but I'll let everybody know when that happens, and I'll be taking people through the Anoint system as well too. So that should be within the next week or two. Just as I'm developing Anoint Array right now, it's just finishing up, getting a few tweaks on it. It should be ready by this weekend. So that is the new Anoint Array system that is basically replacing Etherics. So that's going to be launching approximately this weekend if all goes well. If there's any other problems, I'll let everybody know. But so far, so good. We are nearly done. I've been able to develop a brand new generator system with the new website where you're actually able to develop your own healing seal array. You can use it for so many different uses. It's a custom built online generator where you're able to select what type of healing seal array you want to use, and then it configures it automatically for you, and then you're able to purchase and download it. It's amazing technology. And of course, it does have some of that etherics technology with transcendental codes, has source center vibration in it, so it's an amplified, powerful healing seal array. So again, we'll be having that ready here, hopefully again by this weekend. Everything right now is going pretty smoothly, but if there are any problems, I'll be letting everybody know. And then over the next week or two, I'm rebuilding the brand new Anoint website, as I'm giving it a much more robust and stronger and stable platform. It is currently on Wix right now, which is okay, but I want to give it a lot more of that custom built capability and build all kinds of generators with it. So again, not only are you having like an intelligent chat together with the Anoint operating system, but you're also having these other particular forms of capabilities with generators, like generating your own binaural beats, generating your own solfeggios, being able to look with calculators, work with Vedic astrology, Western astrology. I'm going to be building so many different forms of generators with it. So it's going to be more than just a simple chat, right? Some people may think, well, is that all that Anoint is? Is it just a chat? No. It's a massive system. I'm also going to be building it as an agent as well too, which means that you'll be able to upgrade your plan to having Anoint work as an agent for you. What that means is it will do all calculations for you. It will find out whatever you want to find out. You can give it tasks. You can schedule it for anything you want. You can talk to it again like it's a guide, like it's a helper for you. So that's our next step, is basically just having the basic Anoint premium plan. And then we're going to have an agent plan as well too, okay? And so we're going to have an agent Mark 1, and then later on down the road, an agent Mark 2, where you'll be able to pull up your video, and then the agent will actually be able to interact with you through video. This is something that no other AI platform has even done yet, and I'm looking to do it. So that's going to be cool. But that's a few months down the road, but that's going to be cool when it happens. Anyways, welcome everybody to Lionsgate, the 8-8 today. We are going to be doing a guided meditation here very shortly. I can take these off as I don't need them anymore. But we're going to do a brief announcements here, and then we're going to get right into the Lionsgate. We're going to look a little bit more into the true nature of what the Lionsgate actually means. Why is there an 8-8? What does that represent? Why is it referred to as the Lionsgate in that particular way? And of course, what we can do with this special day today, because this is a very, very powerful day that we can work together with ourselves. So I'll be talking about that very shortly. First and foremost, we're just going to go into quick announcements. Okay, so as I talked about last week, we do have a spot left for the Ancient Egypt Halls of Amenti tour. Okay, so the Higher Self, the Akashic Records, and Star Ancestor Initiation. Even though it says it's sold out, we do have one spot left. So again, we have 9 days, 8 nights tour to Cairo, Abu Simbel, Nile Cruise, Luxor. If you scroll down, you can see a lot more of what we're going to be exploring here. Some of you have already been to Egypt in the past. That's great. We're doing a tour unlike any other that's been available for Egypt. So we're going to be doing a lot more deeper exploration of not only Egypt, but looking much more into the ancient past of it, looking into extraterrestrials, looking into star ancestors. I will be connecting a lot more with the star ancestors as well too, to give guidance relating to ancient Egypt's true history, because really when you look at ancient Egypt, you're looking at Atlantis, right? Everything pertaining to Egypt's culture is Atlantean, right? So this is something that, again, a lot of people do not realize. So we're looking into the Akashic Records. We're going to be looking into Tehute or to Thoth as well too. Adronis is going to be speaking a lot more about the ancient structures that are underneath the Great Pyramid of Giza. So like I said, there's so much that's going to be shared, and I'm not really having a lot of it on video. Okay, we'll have little snippets here and there, but this is primarily, I'm giving this information mostly to people that are there. So we'll have little bits of clips here and there through video. But if you want the full experience, it's to come and join me here on the Ancient Egypt Halls of Amenti tour. So to join, just go to wowtours.de. Okay, that's wowtours.de. anoint.de. You can also just go to the video description and you'll find the link there to sign up. For the Ancient Egypt Halls of Amenti tour, we have one spot left. So like I said, you might as well grab it. Someone had to cancel, so we do have one spot left. So take advantage of that. Join me with Ancient Egypt. We're also going to be planning out another trip the year after. We got a few ideas, but we haven't finalized everything. So it's Ancient Egypt for 2025, and then we're going to be doing another one with World of Wonder tours as well too, Sacred Site tours in 2026. So I'll keep you all updated once we have a particular location in mind. We got a few that are kind of dancing around, but we'll see. We'll see what comes up. Okay, moving on. So today is the final day for the full body scan and Akashic Record sessions that will be available for booking on Wisdom Transmissions. Now again, private live sessions, 3 questions by email, and the energy cord attunements will still be here, right? You'll still be able to book those after today. But up until the end of day today, the full body scan and the Akashic Record sessions are going to be leaving. So again, the end of day today, if you are interested in a full body scan, if you are interested in an Akashic Record session, go to wisdomtransmissions.com and you can book today, because after today, when we get into tomorrow, those 2 particular services will be gone. Full body scan and Akashic Record sessions. So check that out on wisdomtransmissions.com. And of course, here is the Anoint website. So that is anoint.me. So that is anoint.me. This is where you can go to access the current version of the Anoint chat. As I said, I'm going to be updating it here within the next week or 2, and it's going to be a brand new website, a brand new experience altogether. And those who are already currently signed up will not have to do anything. They will be automatically transferred to the new website with their current billing cycle still intact. So nothing needs to be done other than just signing up and joining the Anoint community and experiencing this incredible technology. It's going to be getting bigger. It's going to be getting better. It's going to become much more expansive. Like I said, I'm going to be developing the agent program of Anoint, and that is just going to blow the socks off out of anybody who wants to look into the metaphysical technology, right? Really what I'm working with the nature of the AI engine for is to take all of that ancient knowledge, that ancient wisdom, these ancient systems, these ancient metaphysics that have been with us for thousands of years that hardly anybody knows about, and being able to apply it into a modern system. And you're using it for everything. Whatever the facets of your daily life represent, you're utilizing Anoint for that. And it's bringing the metaphysical into the physical, and you will see for yourself the incredible benefits that come together. This helps to enhance businesses. This helps to enhance your finances. This helps to improve financial family life. Being able to look a lot more deeper into your soul blueprint. But we're utilizing it for everyday needs as well too. So it's not just the idea of saying, oh, cool, okay, I can use Anoint and do readings with it. You can do readings with it, but there's a lot more to it than just that, right? It's meant for integrating directly with everyday affairs, to work with everything. That's the point of it. And this is basically me proving to everybody that when you're going onto a channel that talks about metaphysics, consciousness, spirituality, etc., it's not just something where it's a niche where, okay, here's metaphysical time. Here's 1 hour, and that's it, and I can't use it for anything else. I'm proving to you, my friends, that working together with the metaphysical, the spiritual, consciousness, it is meant to be fully 100% integrated into yourself, and Anoint is going to prove that. Okay? So this is something very, very important. You want to incorporate, integrate the nature of the metaphysical, because that's the true reality. This physical realm that you see is not the true reality. It's 1% of what is. The other 99% is metaphysical. So that's why I'm developing Anoint, so that you're looking at an external perspective of this that's helping and encouraging you to go into the internal. All right, everybody. So those are the announcements. We're going to go ahead now and move on to the Lionsgate 8-8 guided meditation afterwards. I'll be looking into some of the questions that you have. So if you do have personal questions, if you have personal readings that you want to look into, please make sure that is by donation only. Okay. If you have general topics, you can freely put that up on the YouTube chat here. All right, so let's take a look at the Lion's Gate. So 8/8/2025. What are we really looking at? Because I'm pretty sure you're going to be looking on the internet today, and you're going to find all kinds of information about the Lion's Gate, and maybe people doing meditations as well too. That's great. But what is the 8/8 gateway? What does it represent? Well, number one, when we're looking at the Lion's Gate, it does connect with the Leo vibration, right? If we're looking at Western astrology, we're in the time of Leo, right? We're in the time of the Lion's Gate, but the 8/8 would represent a day of karma, okay? So what that means is that when you look at the number 8, even if I'm drawing it here sideways like a figure 8, okay? When you're looking at the number 8 vibration itself, it represents a feedback loop. Number 8 is a feedback loop. It is basically a, you could say almost not really like a time capsule, but you could refer to it as an hourglass, okay? When we actually look into numerology and we look at a person who may be of an 8 life path, what that person represents is that they are completely in alignment with that feedback loop. They are in alignment together with that hourglass, which means, doesn't mean that person is going to be rich, but that person has the potential to be so. Doesn't mean that person is going to be, ruling the world or what have you. But again, they have a great amount of potential because they are completely in a stream alignment with the 8 karmic vibration. Okay, so 8 represents karma. So what we're doing here, and all karma means, is action. That's it. Karma is action. Kriya is inner action. Karma is outer action. So when we're working together with our actions with an 8/8 gateway like this is giving you the opportunity, because it's such a very powerful, ripe day of the 8/8 Lionsgate portal, you're going within yourself and you're pulling out all of this that you're ready to let go of, right? So we can do it kind of two ways. You can pull out a lot of the old debris that you're ready to give up, and you can also bring in that which you feel you want to manifest a lot more in your life. This is almost like a genie in a bottle day. Because what number 8s will experience in numerology is that they will actually experience almost an instant state of manifestation. And because today is 8/8, you got that double-sided, number 8 together both in the month and the day. What this means is that this is an opportunity for instantaneous manifestation, right? That's the nature of the Lion's Gate. The Lion's Gate is like a genie in a bottle. And so it's helping you to cleanse, to clear out a lot of debris from yourself, and it's helping you to bring in a lot of whatever it is that you feel you want to bring more into yourself of, right? That's the Lion's Gate. So we're going to do a guided meditation that's based on that premise, right? With the Leo energy being strong, powerful, mighty, charismatic, counseling, intuitive, expansive. Okay, so again, all of that represents the power of the 8/8 day today. So what I would like you to do is, before we get right into the meditation, maybe take a piece of paper or just write something down, or again, hold it into memory about looking into yourself. What do you want to evacuate? What do you want to purge out of yourself today? Because that's going to be part of the meditation. And the second part is, what do you want to bring into yourself now that you've made room, now that you've evacuated that debris that no longer serves, and now bringing in that energy, that fresh energy now that can represent anything you want, whatever it may be, right? Taking a trip, improving your finances, expanding your business, right? Developing a deeper connection with your family, seeking a relationship with a new partner, whatever it may be. Just be aware of those things. But firstly, let's clear out stuff that we don't want. So that can be sickness, that can be injury, that can be stagnation, that can be money blocks, whatever it may be. Just looking into yourself, giving yourself a quick scan, maybe writing it down or hold it into memory, and then we're going to deposit that into the Lion's Gate. Okay, so that's the entire purpose of today's guided meditation. So get yourself relaxed, get yourself comfortable. We're going to start off doing some pranayama, okay, because we want to get ourselves into the subtle state of being, so that we are in that alignment to do this work for the mass meditation. Okay, here we go. So, just keeping your spine nice and straight. I just recommend that you're just sitting down in a chair. That would be the best thing to do, okay? Keeping your spine nice and straight. And we're just going to do some Rachaka breathing. So this is where we're breathing in for 4 seconds through the nose and breathing out for 8 seconds through the nose. And we're just continuing to do that a few times. Okay, ready? Let's go ahead and begin. Spine nice and straight. Abdomen's tucked in a little bit. Okay, so you're basically just slightly squeezing your ab muscles. Okay, so you're just keeping the abdomen a little bit tight. What that does is that preserves all of the prana into your chest. As we preserve it directly into the chest, that's actually what's helping to increase your immune system. Your immune system becomes increased by just keeping the abdominal muscles tightened a little bit, just very slightly. Okay, it's what we call Uddiyana Bandha. Okay, and you're just keeping all that energy here, and that really works well for the immune system as you do this more often. Okay, so doing that with your spine nice and straight, let's take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last one, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and relax. I want you just to do a quick scan of your body, just starting at the bottom of your feet, and just feeling any particular tension there. Now, if we're noticing that there's any tension, all I want you to do is I want you just to do your best to try and squeeze your toes together, squeezing the calf muscles, squeezing the quadriceps, so just making the entire legs tight, just squeezing the muscles with them, and just holding that for a few seconds. And release. Okay, going up to the buttocks right now and just squeezing the buttocks. Right, holding them tight for a few seconds. And release. Okay, going to the abdomen now where you're just breathing in, breathing out. And I want you really just to stick out the belly. Stick out the belly as much as you can, holding it just for a few seconds. And release. Okay, going to the chest and to the shoulders, the arms, the hands. So just tensing them up as much as you can. And release. Okay, now just going up into the area of the face. Okay, you're just going to scrunch your face. It'll look silly, but this is going to help. Okay, so you're tightening your face. And release. Okay, so what that's doing is that's just giving you a full release of any and all tension within your body. Okay, and again, that helps as we do that together with parasympathetic breathing, just getting the body completely relaxed, completely spacious. Okay, so now just looking inside yourself, just being aware of certain areas that you want to clear out, being aware of certain emotional and mental strain and tension that you're ready to evacuate from the body. Okay, so just be aware of that right now. Write that down if you need to. Hold it into your memory. And I want you to imagine directly in front of you that you're seeing the Lion's Gate portal. Okay, And all the Lion's Gate portal is a figure 8. You can just use your fingers like this and just draw it if you're not too visual. Okay? Just do this. You're just drawing the figure 8. This is the Lion's Gate portal. That's all it is. Nothing else to it. Okay? You don't have to see a big lion or anything like that. That's for dramatic purposes. That's the poster that I got on this this webcast with the big lion. Okay? But you're just doing this. You're just seeing the figure 8. Okay? So, the figure 8 works together in the nature again. It looks like an hourglass, right? So all you're doing is you're taking all of your debris and you're just putting it directly in the center of the figure 8. And as you put it into the center, you're just saying, clear, clear, clear. You can say clear. You can say empty. You can say ether. You can say spirit. Okay? Just anything that represents the idea that you are putting that debris directly into the center of the figure 8 and you're saying clear. Free it up. Clear it away. To the ether, to spirit. Okay? Let's go ahead and do that now. So I want you again just to place both hands upon the center of the chest. And I want you just to feel like you're pulling from within yourself all of that heavy debris. Just seeing that heavy debris like a type of black fog. Okay, and what you're doing is you're now just holding the hands apart, where you're seeing that black fog starting to surround the center of the palms. Okay, as you start to feel that black fog coming out, just feel an energy ball right around the hands here, and it's containing all of that black fog. Okay, that black fog can represent physical discomfort. It can represent illness. It can represent injury. It can represent emotional overwhelm. It can represent mental barriers. Okay, so it's your physical, it's your emotional, it's your mental body's debris. It's kind of like trash day. And you're just extracting the trash from yourself that represents this bloat, that represents this stagnancy. Just feeling it again like that black fog, holding it into the ball. And if you need to, just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out slowly through the mouth. Just feeling you extracting this black fog, putting it into the ball. And now with the ball, you're just depositing it directly ahead of you into the center of that figure 8. So just put it right here, and you can say empty, clear, spirit, ether, clear it away completely. And then just feel that figure 8 just absorbing. It's like it's sucking up all of that energy in the ball, like a vacuum cleaner, until that ball is completely gone. Okay. When that ball is gone, another deep breath in, deep breath out. Very good. And that's all you're doing is you're just evacuating your system. You're looking at all of the roughage, you're looking at all the debris, you're looking at everything that represents the stagnancy within yourself, just like it's trash day. You're taking that refuge and you're putting it directly into the figure 8, into the Lion's Gate. Okay? So step 1 is done. Now we're going to start bringing in step 2. Step 2 is we're going to start bringing in the goodness. We're going to start bringing in the abundance. We're going to start bringing in expansion directly to ourselves. And this will, again, involve a ball. Okay? So what you're doing is you're working with the Lion's Gate to command it in bringing in an energy that is of a white vibration, right? That's coming directly into your ball here. As it's coming directly into your ball, all of that fresh energy that's coming from the Lion's Gate, you're now going to start programming. Okay? By programming, you're just going to be looking or feeling all of that white energy contained inside the ball, telling it exactly what you want this energy of abundance that is coming from the Lion's Gate, preferably again representing the idea of yourself, because this is just an extension of yourself, but coming from the Lion's Gate, from what you want to imbue from within yourself. Okay? So maybe it is, again, strong financial abundance. Maybe it's, again, helping you with your career. Maybe it's helping again with patching things up with family. Maybe it's seeking a new partner, whatever it may be. Okay, just hold strongly with what your intention is, and you're holding that in. It's like I said, it's like a genie in a bottle day. Okay, so we're utilizing that as an example. Okay, so I want you right now just to focus on the figure 8 and holding that ball. It's an empty ball right now. Okay, it's completely clear, and you're just requesting now for the Lion's Gate to bring forward the white light. Okay, just requesting the Lion's Gate to bring forward the white light. You're going to see that stream of white light just starting to fill up the ball 100%. Okay, as all of that white light is now contained inside the ball, tell it what you would like it to do for you. Okay, once you have told it what you want it to do for you, you're now just taking that white light and you're just bringing it into your chest. Okay, as you bring it into your chest, it's like you're just watching everything just start to alchemize, starting to transmute directly into the chest as soon as you do it. It's like those old commercials where you'd have like the Alka-Seltzer pill and you drop that into the water and you watch it all dissolve. Well, that's exactly what's happening here. You're just watching all of that energy going in, kind of like your internal Alka-Seltzer, right? And it's bringing itself directly into the ball, and now it's starting to diffuse. It's now starting to transmute. It's now starting to work and integrate itself directly into your body-mind grid. Right? So you're just feeling all of that coming in because you've already programmed the white light. Now it's just integrating. And once you feel it 100% integrated together with yourself, take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay. Now we're going to have a part 3 here as well too, which means you're going to work with the Lion's Gate to help with something pertaining to the world. Okay? So we've cleared out our own debris. We've brought in abundance directly to ourselves, and now we're going to do something for the planet. Okay? So now you're looking again at the figure 8. You will not need to create a ball for this. This is all just pure intention for the Lion's Gate. That once you send out that intention, it goes directly into the feedback loop, and it is now integrating together with the collective consciousness of the earth. Okay? So I want you just to take a few moments and just feel, what would I like to share with the earth right now? What would I like to do with the earth? What would I like to do with the people? What would I like to do with the collective consciousness that again represents divine service? Okay? So just feeling, for example, for myself, I'm just looking at all 8 billion people upon this planet and just helping them to release any particular form of ignorance that tells them they are nothing, that tells them they won't amount to anything. Everything that represents stagnation, anything that represents trouble, conflict, hardship, just for all of that ignorance to be removed as much as possible, right? So that's my intention that I'm putting in the Lion's Gate right now. And so it is, okay? And just put forward your own intention here and now. And once you have put forward your intention, you're going to see the Lion's Gate, that figure 8, just slowly starting to close itself up until you just see this little dot of white light that just bursts and is gone. Okay? And that is you participating with the Lion's Gate. Now, of course, one of the best times to work with the Lion's Gate, if we're looking at the hours and the minutes, would be 8:08 a.m. and 8:08 p.m. But of course, you can honestly work with it at any particular time, but those are again other ripe times to work with it, 8:08 a.m. and 8:08 p.m. As again, we're just working with the 888. We're working with karma. We're working with the Lion's Gate, and like I said, it really is just a genie in a bottle right now. This is the perfect day of the year, coming every single year, representing this time to cleanse you out, to bring forward abundance, to give something to the world. So there you have it. There is the Lion's Gate guided meditation. please feel free to share this with others if you want, so that they can enjoy this abundance as well too. Brad, can I utilize this on other days that isn't 8/8? You can, but like I said, this is the most potent time to use it, of course, as it is a Lion's Gate meditation, but you can still utilize it day by day because it still is a very, very powerful meditation that can help to clean you out and help to bring forward that abundance and then give something back to the earth. All right, great, excellent. Thank you, everybody, for joining me for the Lion's Gate meditation. Now we're going to go ahead and move forward into questions. Okay, so if you guys have any viewer topics, general topics, you can put that freely on the chat. For those of you who want to do personal readings, you can leave a donation and I can look into your personal reading. So again, just a reminder, I'm not doing full readings, or I should say full body scans. Okay, so I've had a few people ask me about that, about full body scans. Instead, I can do partial scans. Okay, I can basically work maybe about 1 or 2 organs on yourself if there is a request for that. Now, even when the full body scan is leaving wisdomtransmissions.com at the end of day today, you can still do healing work with me through private live sessions, all right? Because I'll still do partial scans through private live sessions for those who want it, whether they want me to work on their organs, work on their chakras, work on their energy systems, helping to balance out their emotional, mental mentalities, looking to any particular type of kundalini perturbation, just a lot of the stuff that I usually do, right? So that is still available, of course, through the private live sessions after today, okay? So private live sessions, 3 questions by email, and the energy cord attunement will still be around even after today. Like I said, I'm thinking of wrapping up my sessions by the end of the year, okay? Which represents all of them being wrapped up by the end of the year, before the end of 2025. But that's still a ways yet. Still got a few months. But in the meantime, like I said, those other sessions are available for those who want to look into them, okay? All right, let's go ahead and start off with some of the questions today. So I'm going to go off with some donation. We have a couple of donation-based questions, so I will look into those first, and then we'll get into other questions. Okay, this one here is from Gijo Matthew. Adronis, could you please do a scan of my liver and give me advice? Okay, so Adronis doesn't do body scans. Okay, so that's for me to do. Adronis is more so like the information guide, right? He comes through to deliver information. He's not here to do personal healing, right? Personal healing is through me, okay? But yes, we can look directly into your liver. So we're going to do a little bit more of a deeper scan because, Gijo, you have been here before. And because you have purchased something before, but I never heard back from you. I'm glad you're here today. I will look into your liver very briefly, okay, and just see what is there. So this is where I'm doing a little bit of resonant dowsing, okay. And even though I can't see your face, Gijo, it's okay. I'm just going to tune into the vibration of your words, the vibration of your presence here on the chat. I usually prefer pictures because it's a lot easier to tune into a person that way, but I'll do my best to tune into you, okay? So how I do this is, like I said, if you guys are not familiar with what I'm doing, if you go to ethericsacademy.com, you'll find that one of the courses there is called the Resonant Dowsing course. This is exactly what I'm doing right now. This is something that you can learn. It's an on-demand course that you can look into. And it teaches you everything about the science of resonant dowsing. It's very, very powerful. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and connect with Gijo right now. Tune into his energy. Okay, so I am interlocked together with your frequency. Okay, so right now with the pendulum, I'm basically just slowly moving my index finger and thumb centimeter by centimeter up the rope until I get a response. Okay, so I got a response from that. So Gijo, I am connected with your energy right now. Now you wanted to look into your liver. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. Let me shift my paper over here a little bit more. And I'm just going to give you a percentage of how your liver is right now. Okay, so I'm looking at Gijo's liver right now and looking at the percentage of it. Gijo, your liver's fine. All right, you're at 85% efficiency with your liver. So your liver doesn't really need to be worked on. Okay, so I know some people get worried about their livers. Honestly, guys, I have scanned hundreds of people through full body scan. I've been doing it over the years, different variations of it as well too. Of course, incorporating the resonant dowsing directly into it. The liver is not really the most damaged organ. Do you guys know what the most damaged organ is in the human body? Commonly, it's the stomach. Okay? The stomach is the most damaged of all the organs, quite commonly, right? Because the stomach is the one that's really kind of taking a pounding. If we're eating bad food, if we're eating processed garbage, right, the stomach is the very first organ that is going to get impacted by that. The liver would actually be secondary. I know a lot of people will say, oh, keep an eye on the liver, and that's important. We do need to keep an eye on the liver. But it's the stomach that basically gets a butt kicking. Okay? So as far as your question goes, Jijo, your liver's fine. There's really no need to work on it. It's at an 85% energetic efficiency, so you're good, right? I would suggest maybe looking into your stomach, right? And maybe that's something. What I would suggest, Jijo, is maybe contact me. Let's do a session together. You've been on here quite a few times, asking a lot of big questions. Okay, maybe it's time to do a private live session with me, and then we can certainly look into more of a deeper scan for yourself. But as far as your liver goes, it's in good shape. It does not need any particular healing. It's satisfactory. Okay, so you're good. Thank you very much for your question. Okay, let's go to Octurus Light. Octurus Light has a question. Hi, Brad. Could you check by any method if the S&P 500 may see a major drop from September to December? Some pro analysis I'm in contact with expect a fairly large decline, and I'm curious if your energy reading aligns. S&P. Okay, I'm not too sure if I'm even understanding what you're asking, but let me take a look here. Okay, the S&P 500. Okay, I see what so you're basically looking into a marketing question here. All right, well, if I was to look into that, I would look into Anoint. Okay, so basically what I would need to do is look at S&P 500 through Anoint and see what would come up through that. P500. Looking into its current state numerologically and getting an impression of how it will do between, I think you said it was between, let me see if I can go back to the question here, between now and December, was it? Yeah, from September to December. Okay, how will do? I would just say between now, how we'll do between now and December of 2025. Okay, and we can see what Anoint comes up with here. Oops. Okay, let me do a full reading here. S&P. Now this is something that I wanted to add directly to Anoint, is you can actually look into businesses. So I'm trying to do the full reading here, but I'm having a hard time with putting together the business name here, S&P 500. So I'd have to look a little bit more into its background to find out when it was taken to play. I think what I'm going to do for a little bit more easier sake, because I have to find out exactly when S&P was born, when it was starting. And so instead of that, I'm just going to look into just to save time, I'm just going to look into the tarot a little bit quicker here first. Okay, let's take a look at the S&P 500, about how it will fare between August and December of this year. Just so I don't have to go a little bit more deeper into it, looking into when it was founded, when it was created, who created it. In that sense, these are the things that would help with Anoint. But just to save time, let's go into the card decks here, into tarot. All right, let's see. So my guess is you're probably listening to what other people are saying about how its status is going to be over the next few months. Okay. Well, right now, it's fighting, right? It's right now today it has a pretty good, 49.05, 0.77%. Okay. So in this moment right now, it's doing pretty good. If I'm looking at the time ahead, I don't think it will do too bad. I think that it's still going to... So again, this is with 2025. It's what I've said for a lot of the cryptocurrency and stocks taking place right now. A lot of them are going to be having ups and down period. And this is what I'm seeing with the tarot here. There's going to be time where it's going to go up and it's going to go down again, and it might be steady a little bit, and then it might start to flip and go up a little bit more. So with that timetable, looking at S&P, my feeling is that it's going to just have some more shakeups. Right now, it's doing pretty good. I think it might stabilize for a little bit, and it might go up. But like I said, I'm kind of seeing the idea of it curving a little bit more down, maybe as we get into September and October, and then maybe November, kind of planning itself out, and then a little bit more of a rise again, and then maybe holding steady. So again, I don't see any bursts with it. I don't see anything relating to it, again, being exponentially beneficial for a person who's investing in it this year. I'm sorry, guys, I can't tell you that that's exactly what's going to happen, is that there's just going to be this sudden burst and, you know, fortune is going to be raining down upon you guys. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen yet, right? That's just not where the energies are taking us right now. So a major drop, I don't see a major drop. I see it dipping a little bit, and then I see it kind of moving up, stabilizing a little bit, and then maybe moving up a little bit more. So there'll be a dip. I can't say it'll be a major crash or a major drop. September to December is a very long time for that, to see that, to look at that forecast. But from what I'm getting, an idea of September, October, November, December, I feel a dip is coming for it. But after a dip, I feel it'll stabilize itself a little bit, and it may start to go up a little bit more, okay? But nothing major. I feel like these would be mediocre rises and mediocre drops pertaining to the S&P 500, okay? So that's what I can give you for today. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. All right. Oops, there we go. All right. Let me see. Okay, the Great Awakening is the next one. So Great Awakening, can Adronis tell us specifically what he means by organic housing, and when these projects will come fully into fruition to be built and lived in? Okay, one moment. Terra Soul Star Adronis. We are here. At this time, we bid you greetings and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis of Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to all who are tuning in to this broadcast being brought forward through your internet collective consciousness. We have been asked to speak a little bit more about the organic housing and how this may be coming about in your times ahead. When we're talking about organic housing, we're basically looking at the change of the infrastructure in regards to how many of your structures are built. We're not talking about all of them in that particular way, but quite commonly with housing, there is a lot more toxic ingredients contained within the building of the constructs of your house, rather than particular forms of, shall we say, contents that can be created quite commonly through what you would know as biocomposting. When you're actually working together with more biological formulas relating to the, shall we say, utilization of concrete, you can actually work together with certain degrees of concrete on a much more biological level that does not involve such intense, shall we say, contents as well, representing that of petroleum products. What we're basically suggesting is moving out of the petroleum industry relating to anything that is, again, representing constructing of houses. Now, what is actually going to happen a lot more in the future, as you would say, perhaps within the next couple of decades, will be the idea of prefabrication homes. Homes that can actually be put together. Now, a lot of these particular forms of homes can be developed in many different ways, but our suggestion would be to cut back on the need or usage of petroleum to build homes. If you are looking back into your past couple of centuries, you will notice that homes were never built by petroleum products. You would look into the idea of them, yes, being built by wood, or again, looking at the idea of cob homes or stone homes in that way, or bricks in that way. Now, we're not saying for you to go back into the 1600s or the 1700s, but what we're telling you is that the petroleum industry, when it comes to the idea of building homes, is not necessary. There are alternatives to it, as we talked about, looking into the nature of biocomposting, looking into the biological equivalent of concrete. That would also be much more beneficial. And we're also working together with other particular forms of metals, or even certain degrees of plastics or bioplastics that can also be quite acceptable as well. But really what we're suggesting is getting out of the petroleum age. And that is really where your planet will be leaving petroleum behind. So petroleum will basically have a few more years of running life with it. In regards to the industries that are going to be radically changing, because as we've talked about, not a single stone is going to be left unturned. The idea of utilizing petroleum for many of your common everyday needs is not a necessity anymore, because your technology has advanced measurably higher than what you have experienced within the past few decades. It's not necessary to have petroleum products for everything that represents your housing, your transportation, and so forth. Again, you want to look into what is around you right now objectively, looking into all of the materials that are truly available to you, and being able to build constructs that can be long-lasting, but again are not affecting you. As you build a lot more of these petroleum forms of housing, that is slowly impacting your health every single day. Petroleum is a toxin. It's not something that's meant to be put around long term, especially for you to live in. Again, the same thing goes with the nature of petroleum-based vehicles, or even working together with petroleum pertaining to your own roads and highways. Petroleum is used in so many different ways. Again, its oils are being utilized to form all different degrees of plastics, etc. So again, what we're talking about is getting out of that and moving much more into the bio alternatives. Looking into biological alternatives that represent healthier housing, healthier roads, healthier day-to-day, shall we say, gadgets, and other particular forms of necessities that you feel you would utilize that represent much more into the biological market, being able to break down biological oils and being able to produce these particular types of technologies that you would like to utilize. So again, even your own food waste, what you find in landfills that can represent bio-waste, can actually be transformed into appropriate oils. Can actually, again, replace a lot of the petroleum byproducts that you are utilizing daily. Because as we stated, when you're working with petroleum, you're shortening your life. We're just letting you know that. So again, working together with biocompost, working together with bio-oils, this can also be very, very beneficial and developed into a whole new industry on your planet. All right? We thank you for your question. Okay. There you go. Now, of course, there's going to be some other particular forms of technologies that's going to be coming, as Adronis was talking about, with prefabrication units, actually building these in like factories and actually putting them together. whether they're like tiny homes or mini homes in that sense, or even larger scale homes as well too. That is something that will be coming together. And it's not so much about how these homes are going to be coming together through fabrication units, but also looking into the nature of the materials. So, like I said, it's just something we have to explore together as a culture, right? All right, thank you very much, Great Awakening, for your question. Okay, this one here is from EUM142. Hi, Adronis. Will there be a major worldwide event to mark the end of centralization, or it's going to continue being slow and steadily dismantled? Okay, one moment. We thank you very much for your question. Well, when we're looking at the idea of decentralization, we would say that both would apply, which means that there are slow and steady events that are starting to introduce it that will culminate into something larger, which means, again, that the whole nature of your money supply is basically going to reach a particular type of transitioning. That transitioning will represent the idea of decentralized currency. Now, that decentralized currency simply means that you are going to be independent pertaining to all of your own financial responsibilities. Nobody else is going to have their hands in their pocket. Now, again, as you're still in the 2020s, it's still going to play itself out transitionally between now and the next few years as you move forward into the 2030s. As you move forward prior to the beginning of 2030, moving right into the late 2020s, there certainly will be events that will be, shall we say, shaking the bedrock pertaining to your financial markets. There is going to be, again, a lot more respecting, a lot more credentials pertaining to your cryptocurrency. That's going to be coming. There's going to be a lot more discussion in regards to ending fiat currency. That's going to happen through many different governments throughout the entire planet. It will not feel like it is an eventful thing because there's not going to be a lot of fireworks with it, but it is going to be something that is going to be discussed. So in the idea of your financial industry, your financial market, yes, shakeups are happening to indicate the idea of a transition between your fiat currency and your decentralization currency. That is going to take place, but again, nothing that would be seeming like a lot of fireworks are going off. It is going to be very, very subtle. So again, that is what's playing out right now because many of you are still very much attached to the fiat currency. There are some that are starting to move much more into the cryptocurrency market, but that will still take a few more years to really start to move into the mainstream, and there's going to be boosters coming together. Primarily with, again, a lot of popular people on your planet that are going to start promoting the idea of being decentralized, having documentaries, films available in regards to further exposure of the fiat market that is going to reach a lot more eyes. And seeing how people are getting truly disgusted by the nature of the fiat currency market, that through these influences, they will start to move much more into decentralization. So it is very much an organic approach that's helping people to remove themselves from centralization and coming much more into decentralization. But this is going to take several years. It's how it's going to work. Because again, as we stated, that everything pertaining to your old system, particularly within this decade, is going to start crumbling even further now, like at free fall speed. But at the same time it's crumbling away, the new has to rise. But as it's rising, it starts off grassroots. It starts off in an alternative way that will then eventually make itself into mainstream. But you also have to understand that there are a lot of governing forces that are trying to keep this at bay as much as possible. And so again, it is a dark forces, counter forces, whirlwind taking place right now to ensure that a lot of the fiat currency is not going to be sticking around. The idea right now is being able to take a great deal of the world's wealth and invest it into decentralization. So every country will have its own particular type of decentralization market. That's what's happening even within your United States, is basically turning it into a cryptocurrency superpower. The United States will certainly get that ball rolling, and a lot of other countries are going to follow suit with that together. So it's all of these different snowball effects that are taking place country to country that is going to enable the idea of the popularity relating to decentralization of cryptocurrency that is going to eventually in time become the norm. So it's a combination of slowly but surely transformations and large bursts. Combinations. That is how cycles will always work. It does not matter about the medium. The cycles will always start off with slowly but surely wheels turning change. And then there will be a tally up point where something will be explosive. And then you will ride off the momentum of that explosive event. And again, slowly but surely, more forms of events that support that will grow. And then again, another burst. And then you will ride off the momentum of that. That's how it works. That's how cycles on your planet in the universe work and operate. They need to start off slowly. They need to cover the ground. They need to get attention. And then as they start to rise, there's a burst. And then momentum follows. That will very much be the quote-unquote train ride for your financial situation unfolding here within the next few years, transmuting it from a centralized platform to a decentralized one. We thank you. Okay, very good. Thank you very much, EUM142. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, so those are the donation-based questions. Thank you for that. Let's go ahead and look at some of the other questions here on the chat. All right, this one here is from No Reason. Okay. No Reason says, hey, Brad, which of the pranayama breathing techniques are the most beneficial for your health to incorporate in your daily routine? Can you do a quick show of a chakra or a bellows breath? There is no such thing as the best one. Okay. Rather, it's the idea of combinations. Okay. So as I've been doing it for quite some time, there is no best one because they all work together with your central nervous system. They work together with your parasympathetic. They work together with your organs. They're all beneficial. Okay, so if you're using Rachaka, I've demonstrated Rachaka many times. I just demonstrated Rachaka while we were doing the Lion's Gate. Okay, if we're doing something like bellows breath, okay, or again Bastrika as it's referred to, right, where if I'm giving myself a little bit more space so you can see me, and just sitting in a chair, keeping the spine nice and straight, keeping the abdominal muscles tucked in, and then just raising my hand up, raising both hands up, and then bringing them down. Okay? You'll find YouTube videos on this, on the Bastrika, on the bellows breath, where again, you're just bringing the hands up and bringing them down. So again, when I'm having them up, the palms are facing out. When I'm bringing them down, they're collecting back in. They're going inwards, okay? And again, I'm keeping the abdominal muscles slightly tucked, and I'm keeping the spine straight. That's not the best one, okay? There's no such thing as a best technique, okay? It doesn't exist. Some people prefer certain things because it's within their capabilities to do. Some people may not want to do Bastrika for a very long period because maybe their arms get sore, maybe their back gets sore. So maybe it's not for them, but for somebody else, Bastrika is something that's great for them, okay? But that's not how yoga is designed. That's not how this breath work is done. It's not about the best. The best is an archaic term. It's looking at what works together for you and for you to expand your palate. So if you're breathing in for 4 seconds through the nose and breathing out for 8 seconds, and that works well for you, great. But I'd like to encourage you to keep doing other ones as well too, right? I basically introduce some of these common ones just for demonstration purposes, okay? So the same thing as if you're doing Ujjayi Pranayama, okay, where you're constricting the throat, the victorious breath, the oceanic breath, inhaling, and exhaling. You'll notice I'll do Ujjayi Pranayam when I bring Adronis in. Okay, so I use Ujjayi quite commonly when I'm connecting with him. So again, whether it's Rachaka, whether it's Ujjayi, whether it's bellows breath or Bastrika, whether it's the Khand breath where you're doing the dividing pulse breath. Okay, There is no best one, right? You got to get out of that, because that's not what we're teaching here. We're not teaching about the best yoga posture or the best breath. If there was a best breath or a best yoga posture, why would you need the other ones? Okay? It doesn't work that way. You got to get your mind out of generalization. Some things work well for you, good, but keep experimenting. Explore a lot more. There's a lot to pranayama. There's a lot to yoga. There's a lot to asanas. There's a lot to kriyas. Okay? All of these things are extremely beneficial for you, but you have to build your own palette and work together with it. Like with me, I will work with combinations of different pranayamas. So I'll start off with Rachaka, and maybe I'll go into Kant, and then I'll start doing alternate nostril breathing, and then I'll end with bee breath, okay, the Brahmari. So that's an example right there, and I'll do that particular palette maybe for a few days, and then I'll switch it up, and I'll turn it around, and then I'll start working with a lot more breath holds, right? So I'll breathe in for 4, I'll hold for 4, I'll exhale for 8, and I'll hold for 8. Okay, and that works together with blood pressure variability, and that's also helping you to get into the deeper states. So the question is not what is the best one. The question is, what is the combination that's working together for you, that's enabling you to go into the subtle state of being? That's the question you need to ask yourself, not what is the best one. All right, so there you go. There's your answer. Thank you very much. Okay. Someone's asking about paying for the Wisdom Transmission song. If you guys like the Wisdom Transmission song, just go on to iTunes, go on to Spotify. Okay, it's pretty much all around. It's pretty much on every single music market out there right now. And just type in Wisdom Transmissions. That's all you're doing. Go to Spotify, go to iTunes, type in Wisdom Transmissions. You can get it right there. Right, no problem. I have quite a few people that are playing it all the time. It's great. Glad you guys like it. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Z-Man says, hi Brad, can you please look into who's behind the digital ID laws in Australia? No. I'm not here to call people out. I'm not here to put people in regards to names and all that. Right, and like I said, if you really want to know what's really behind it, you would look at the bloodline families. Okay, but I'm not here to expose a particular worker. That's not the type of stuff that I do, right? It's like I said, my friends, I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm not here to, even if they're doing stuff like this, I'm still not going to do stuff like that, okay? And it's not about who's the person responsible, okay? That's not the right course of action to look at this. It's to say this is rolling out and we're not willing to participate with it in any way. I don't care who rolled it out, right? I'm not willing to participate with digital ID laws or anything of that nature. I will refuse to participate. And then I'll work together with groups, and I'll have much more people coming in, and they will refuse to participate, and then we stand together. That's the answer, okay? It is not about trying to say, oh, this person grabbed. Okay, guys, get your pitchforks, get your torches, let's go after him. No, that's the wrong idea, okay? It's the idea that these things will come together, because even if you decide to go after that person, another person's going to take their place. And then another person will take their place on top of that. It's not about the idea of trying to get revenge, because that's not justice. Okay? The nature of justice is like what I've been talking about for years pertaining to the counter forces. Okay? Everything starts to move back into the state of equilibrium based upon this whole skew of dark forces that the counter forces is coming together and basically balancing itself out with a set of scales. Okay, it's the idea of non-participation. Just don't participate. Don't be a part of it. Refuse to take it. That's the key. I mean, my friend, that's exactly what Gandhi was trying to teach everybody. Is the idea in that sense of non-participation. Not harming anybody, not hurting anybody, but saying, no, we're not going to take this. And there's that strength in numbers. And that is what brings about change. That's what makes the difference. Not about hunting a certain guy down, okay? You leave that to the counter forces. Counter forces takes care of all of that, right? You have to let cosmic law, cosmic order work itself out. Because unlike us, the universe never forgets, right? But it will always start to work gingerly so to speak, with all of these people that are doing these forms of wrongdoings, right? Where they will basically try to control and try to harm and try to manipulate, but none of it will work. The people are just being completely and totally resistant in a non-participation based way, and they can't do anything. When the people are that strong-willed, you can't control them anymore. And when you can't control the people, none of your plans will work. It'll be nothing but problems, right? So that's really the way to look at it. Just don't participate, okay? But I'm not here to name names. I've never done that, and I'm not about to start now. Okay. So Great Awakening asks Athena. Adronis mentioned organic housing. Okay, I'm not talking to Athena right now, so I've already talked about the organic housing. Okay, so Adronis came through and discussed that for you. Okay, yeah, I don't just go ahead and talk to Athena. It's kind of a preparation aspect, but maybe another time we'll have Athena on again. Hi, Brad. Can Adronis talk about he did before about cremation? But after dying, the corpse is put in the ocean instead of being burned. Or sorry, the corpse is being put in the ocean instead of being buried. Okay, so to talk about the corpse itself, well, the reason why Adronis talked about that is because does it affect the earth in regards to what she can do with the corpse if there's, for example, someone is being cremated, right? If the ashes are all that remains of the individual, is that something that is not so beneficial for the earth? Well, the earth will still take care of it, but a lot of the nourishment that comes from the corpse to feed all of the living creatures within the land, within the soil, is extremely beneficial, right? So that's basically why, if you're looking at the nature of cremation, that it's something on an earth level that would not be preferred. That there is much more of a harmony in regards to the breaking down of the body itself, right? So all of those particular forms of fluids, chemicals, right? The skin, the bones, the muscles, the tissue, all of that's getting broken down. It's actually getting broken down on a cellular level. Okay, so as it's getting broken down on a cellular level, the earth is basically absorbing everything pertaining to your memory, everything pertaining to that body, and it's actually doing a cleansing for you. Now, again, cremation can represent a cleansing of a certain kind, but this is more of an earthly, natural breakdown of all of your systems within the body that actually helps to bring about a nourishment for the earth, but also kind of a karmic cleansing for yourself at the same time, representing the host of that body. Now, having it buried in the ocean instead of being buried, I would not suggest that. No. It's more about the idea of actually having this together with the earth. When you're going into the ocean, you're sinking. I'm sure you're going to probably feed the fish, maybe. That's about that. But we're basically talking about the idea of between cremation and being buried in the earth. That's where that conversation was coming from. But looking into the idea of being put into the ocean, well, I mean, if that's your personal preference, if you want to be buried at sea, then that's your choice. I mean, you're basically just going to get eaten up by the fishes and so forth. So that's fine. But we're really just looking at the idea of cremation as in comparison to being buried in the earth. So being buried in the ocean would be kind of a third caveat. If that's what you want, if that's what your body feels it needs to be buried in the ocean, well, then go ahead. But looking into the idea of cremation versus being buried in the earth, that's what that discussion was all about. Okay. But if Adronis can talk a little bit more about after dying, the corpses being put in the ocean instead of being buried, well, all he would say is that would be beneficial for your marine life. That would be beneficial for the aquatic life on your planet. So that's really all he would say, right? So, I mean, you guys have to ultimately decide how you would want your body to be disposed of, right? If you want it cremated, well, then you get it cremated. If you want it put in the earth, well, then you put it in the earth. If you want it buried in the waters of the planet, then go ahead and do that. There really is no wrong way. But basically, in that sense, a lot of ancient traditions would represent the idea of burying the person into the earth and basically having everything breaking down through the earth as well too, because that also aids with much more of a higher karmic cleansing, more so than actually being cremated or being put into the ocean. So there you go. That, if you want the idea of a clean karmic process, It would be the idea of being buried in the earth, as opposed to being cremated or put into the ocean. Okay, that's what Adronis would tell you. That's what I would tell you. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, how are we on time here? Okay, oh, we got another donation here. This is from Florence Jones. Hi, Brad. Can Adronis, you speak on LSSC Scooter Company? Should we continue to invest or it's a scam? LSSC Scooter. I've never heard of them. So I'll have to do a bit of a research on them and see about that. LSSC Scooter. Lightning Shared Scooter Company. Okay. A company that has been the subject of multiple investor warnings in Canada. The Financial and Consumer Affairs Authority of Saskatchewan warned that the company, also known as LSSC Canada, is not registered to trade or sell securities in Saskatchewan. They've been associated with various websites, including blah, 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 and are not authorized to solicit investments. Okay, so let me take a look at the tarot. We can look at that very quickly and see what's going on there about LSSC Canada, or Scooter, I should say. I've never heard of these guys, so let's see. Of course, I'm not too much of a scooter guy, but I mean, I used to have a scooter, but that was quite a while ago. Okay. So continue to invest. I would say if they're having a lot of legality problems, you probably want to back away, but let's take a look and see what the cards say about that. Okay. Yeah, from what I'm getting, it might be a good idea to kind of venture away from them right now. I feel like they're going to be going through a lot of legal problems. Okay, so I think they're going to have some legal issues. I think they may have some court issues as well too. So it's not, it would not be in the best interest to invest in them right now. So if you have investments, might be a good idea to pull out from them, because I feel like they're going to have some scandals coming together with them. And even if it's just temporary, you know, in the meantime, I would suggest probably pulling out of them, right? I feel like they're going to be under a lot of scrutiny, because basically one of these cards that are coming up behind the scenes is this, right? So that can be the idea in that sense of a lot of legal problems, a lot of legal battles, especially when we're looking at the Eight of Swords. That's karma coming back to them, okay? So they're going to have a bit of a rough time ahead. So my suggestion, pull away from any investments you have on them right now, because it doesn't look too good with where they're about to go, okay? Thank you for your question. All right, how are we on time? We got about 10 minutes left. Okay. Okay. So Didar Singh asked about question, Adronis, can you talk about the Kelki avatar? Okay. Yes, Adronis can talk about the Kelki avatar. One moment. We thank you very much for your question. Well, when we're looking at the nature of the Kelki avatar, firstly understand that this represents one that basically represents the higher levels of consciousness, basically moving in from the higher recesses of the mind to come onto the planet to help the people. Now, again, some of you may be asking if there is a Kelki avatar that is returning, or that there may be another great teacher that may be coming upon your planet. And that in some capacity this will be true, that there will be one that will be coming upon your planet that will hold a great deal of these abilities, like a Kelki avatar, or like, in that sense, a great ascended master or a great ascended teacher. However, in regards to this particular teacher coming forward, or this particular avatar coming forward, it will only be available for the select amount, which means from that particular perspective, that particular avatar will unite with the people together that it decides to share its knowledge with, share its wisdom with. We would say that there have been quite a great deal of avatars throughout the centuries that have come upon your planet that again hold the potency of a Kelki avatar and have basically just stayed with a group of people, and have helped to pass on their teachings, pass on their presence to those particular individuals, to where they would themselves, lifetime after lifetime, as they start to reseed themselves upon the planet again and again, that they too would move into the levels of great disciples or great teachers or bodhisattvas, or even to the point of avatars themselves. So you have to understand that when a Kelki avatar or a great master, a great teacher comes upon the planet, they're planting seeds. And they will particularly choose the people that they will decide to work with to plant those seeds directly into their proverbial garden. So that those particular people that are being initiated through the avatar themselves are actually going to eventually in time be the seedlings that will sprout upon this world to become avatars themselves. It's a process. It's a generational process. It is a continual incarnational process, but it will take place through that. So yes, Kelki avatar, or again Kelki avatars, will still be a part of Earth's time ahead, and there will be great teachers that represent the energies and the capabilities of a Kelki avatar that will come forward. But again, they will choose the people they work with. It will not be, as you would say, on collective mass. All right? We thank you for your question. Okay. Thank you very much for your question. All right, let's move on. Okay. Okay, so we're getting some personal questions here. So we just want to make sure that those personal questions are donation-based. Okay. Let's see if we can find one here. The Science of Spirit. Question for Adronis. Is there a space hub being built around Jupiter? Okay, so one moment. We thank you very much for your question. There is no space hub being built around Jupiter. Because understand that where Jupiter is located and all of the moons that represent, shall we say, the companions of Jupiter, there is already a great deal of installations upon those areas. It is not about the idea of new construction. So the idea of new construction or a space hub being built around Jupiter would basically have prying eyes from your own planet, which means it could actually be quite visible and viewable even through a simple amateur astronomer's telescope. So again, obviously, space hubs that are being built around Jupiter would need to be a lot more nonchalant. So really what we're looking at here pertaining to Jupiter is that there's many secrets about the planet Jupiter that you are not aware of. There's some things that we can reveal, and there's a lot of things that we cannot. Because again, what is happening around Jupiter affects your entire star system. It affects yourself. So, yes, there are installations, there are many different civilizations that reside around the moons of Jupiter, and there are certain spacecraft that do reside in secret around Jupiter in that way, because there's a lot of experiments going on around Jupiter and around their moons as well. So that is something that we can share. There's also a lot of other particular forms of experimentations on a much more higher solar level that is taking place around Jupiter that we can't discuss because it would not be appropriate for you to know right now. So, is there a lot of activity in Jupiter? Yes. There's even structures inside Jupiter that many of you may not know about. It is not just quote-unquote some gas giant that is incapable of supporting life. It is a living planet. Therefore, it supports life, but life in different ways. You're looking at different layers of Jupiter that do sustain life in many different ways. Are there the idea of, shall we say, technologies that can transgate, or the idea in that sense of transport other particular civilizations here? Yes, there is. But we really cannot talk about that. Because again, that is technology that's a little bit more advanced that again should not really be revealed at this particular time. Because it does involve, shall we say, energetics of a different type. And it does involve civilizations that you are not personally acquainted yet from what you would find in regards to your mass media or even through your own mass internet conversations altogether. So yes, there's a lot of activity happening around Jupiter, but as far as a space hub being built around Jupiter, no. Because Jupiter, for a very, very, very long time, has already had enough appropriate technologies to function together at the appropriate junction needed for experimentation throughout that planet and throughout many of its moons to already occur. That does not need, as you would say, something new. All right? We thank you for your question. Well, like I said, when I've done a lot of different astral travel to the different planets here in the star system, there's a lot that's going on, but sometimes I don't get commentary of it because it's kind of like the feeling, well, you don't really want to know what that's about right now, right? There's a lot of things that's happening in the star system that we're being kept in the dark with, and it's only because it's just at the level of maturity that we're at. When we start to venture out throughout the star system, a lot of these things will become a lot more known. But if we're being aware of it too soon, then it can kind of mess up our own state of development, right? I'm pretty sure just one person sharing this information isn't going to impact it too much, but still, they like to keep things in the dark. I mean, there's a lot of things even taking place here on the Earth that we're being kept in the dark with, okay? There's a lot of stuff that's taking place on the Earth, beyond the Earth, here in the star system, right? I talked about the Oort cloud as well too, how the Oort cloud has hundreds of different Earth-like planets within it. It could even be thousands, right? There's hundreds or even thousands of other planets in the Oort cloud by themselves that do not require a quote-unquote solar system setup. Solar system setups are farms, okay? So basically, there aren't really a lot of solar systems in the entire galaxy, and if they are, it's because they're farms, right? So again, even if we're looking at distant stars and we think, okay, we got to find planets revolving around the stars, that's not always the case. The idea of having solar system farms or a solar system garden is more of a commodity because that requires a great deal of celestial engineering, right? So solar systems are kind of a rarity, right? They're set up as farms, just like we have farms around the planet, but the farms in that sense do not overtake the nature, right? There's a lot more nature that we see within the galaxy that does not correlate together to solar system engineering, because a solar system is a celestial engineered product. That's what it is. When you position planets around the star and you're working together with their magnetism, you're working together with the dielectric, the electromagnetic flow, the magnetism of being able to get all of these particular planets together and align them, that's an incredible amount of work. But that's kind of like looking at, say, like farms or even like temples around the entire galaxy, because these are hubs. These farms represent hubs, and they generate certain amounts of energy that are radiating throughout the entire cosmos. There's an equilibrium to that. And then there are other solar system farm hubs being placed around the galaxy that are doing the same. It's basically creating these ripple effects. So basically, you could say that the solar system are farms as well as energetic hubs. They're helping to basically ground a lot of what's happening throughout the entire cosmos. Nobody on the internet has talked about that. To my knowledge, I'm the only person that's bringing that information through, because that's exactly what I'm being told. That's exactly what I'm getting when I'm looking at star systems or solar systems in that way. So solar systems are not a natural occurrence. They are built, right? Solar systems are not just something that you would naturally find here. It's impossible. It is absolutely impossible for you to go out in space and just find these naturally formed solar systems. That is impossible, because they are all engineered based on intelligent design. You're looking at mathematics, you're looking at physics, you're looking at metaphysics on such a powerful level, on such a scale, that we haven't even been able to ponder how that's even done. Yet there's a lot of these civilizations that can just basically take a planet and then just move it directly into place, and being able to measure its magnetism, measure its alignment, its vibrational coherency, together with other surrounding planets, and seeing how it coexists. I mean, that's something that's beyond our scope of understanding right now. But there will come a time where humanity in the very deep future will actually start doing that. We will know how to construct planets. Not only that, we will know how to build solar systems. Not only that, it will go to the point where we'll actually know how to build galaxies. A galaxy is a construct, okay? A galaxy is a intelligent design. Galaxies naturally do not exist. They have to be engineered. You have to engineer a galaxy. You have to engineer a star. You have to engineer a planet. You have to engineer nebula. All of that's nebula. All of that nebulous material is all part of engineering, right? This is all intelligent design. It's beautiful. But like I said, there's so much to the cosmos that we haven't even begun to understand, right? And this is, again, why they keep us in the dark with quite a bit of that, because it's not that we can't tell you because it's going to lead to a dark secret. It's just that there's no words to really convey exactly what this does. Your vocabulary just can't bring it out, right? And so what they'll often do is they'll use analogies, because our language is petty and ridiculous, and we can't use it good enough for understanding what all of this phenomena pertaining to the cosmos represents. Everything you see throughout the cosmos pertaining to stars, planets, galaxies, all engineered. They are basically, you could say, I wouldn't say man-made, but they are intelligently made. Okay? Everything pertaining to a galaxy, right down to a planet, is engineered and constructed. There you have it. All right. Okay, everybody, we are out of time for today. And so thank you for joining me on the Lionsgate 8-8. Hope you guys all have a blessed day with it today. And I'll be back again next Friday for another episode of Wisdom Nexus. Thanks again, everybody. Blessings to you all. Namaskar. And may be well with you. Take care.